the Indian fashion market. To make the presentation, please put your hands together and welcome Paki Saxena, Vice President, Technopac Advisors.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be talking to you about key numbers that impact the India fashion lifestyle market, as well as few key trends that are shaping up and marking this particular segment. The Indian fashion lifestyle segment is expected to grow from 63 billion USD to 96 billion in the next 4 years. Apparel, which is a sizable size at 51 billion, will continue to grow at a steady pace of 10.5 CAGR over the next 4 years to touch approximately 75 billion USD. A key segment I'd like to mention here is the niche category of lifestyle accessories, which is nearly going to it's going to become 3 times its current size, from a 2 billion USD to approximately a 6 billion USD, growing at a rate of 30% CAGR over the next 4 years. Talking about the channel mix that is going to make up this lifestyle segment fashion market that we're talking about, modern retail is expected, brick and mortar modern retail is expected to grow at 7% CAGR over the next 4 years. And e-tailing, which is currently at 3.6 billion USD, will become 5 times its size to become approximately 17 billion USD. So the e-tailing market is at a trajectory in India currently, and it is expected to mirror China, owing to the key reasons of weak penetration of modern retail and prevalent use of the dominance of how internet has penetrated households here. So currently, the e-tailing is just 6 to 7% of the 63 billion USD fashion market that we talked about. This is expected to grow to an increase to a robust penetration of approximately 15% of the 96 billion USD that we talked about. So the penetration is expected to increase significantly of e-tailing within the fashion lifestyle segment. Let's talk a little about the segments that make up this market, the men's and the women's segment. So the women's segment takes 38% share of the Indian lifestyle fashion market. And India is unique in this aspect because internationally it is typically women who have the dominant share. But in India, the men's segment takes 42% and the women's segment takes 38%. This is expected to change dramatically over the next 10 years and the share of the men's and women's segment will become equitable at approximately 39% each, because the women's segment is expected to outpace the growth of the men's segment at approximately 11%, and the men's segment will continue to grow at the 9% growth, which is slightly lower than the total apparel CAGR that is expected to. And it's interesting to note that key segments within the women's wear that will reflect high growth are the ethnic market marked by the salwar kameez market, not necessarily the sari market, but the salwar kameez ethnic market, which will project a growth of approximately 14%. Innerwear is another segment which currently takes approximately 15%, is expected to grow at around 12 to 13% over the next 4 years. A niche category, which is small in size right now, is the casual women's market, which takes approximately only 5% of the total pie, but it is expected to reflect a growth of 18% over the next 4 to 5 years. So the men's market I did talk to you about is currently the dominant share at 42%. And obviously, the shirts and the trousers market take a significant 50% of the total pie. However, the category that one needs to look out for is the blue canvas, that is the denim category, which has a significant share of nearly 15% and is expected to grow further at approximately a rate of 18%, because the category marks versatility, it marks high brand engagement, and the premium segment, which is the mid to premium and the premium segment of this particular denim market across men's and women's, is expected to grow at approximately 20%, and that is That's because they added advantages and features that the consumer is looking for across wash, fabric, stretch fabrics, lightweight, and various colors. I'm going to talk to you about the key trends that mark the fashion industry. After the numbers that we've talked of, the key numbers, let's ponder a little about the key trends that mark the Indian lifestyle fashion market. So until the 80s, there was no significant attempt or effort to create a business around assortment and product. It was between the 90s and the 2000s that we had products that were influenced A, by Bollywood, B, there was occasion-specific ethnic wear, and of course there was imports that we all looked forward to from the Asian and the UK countries. And brands were prevalent. Brands were prevalent because they were leveraging communication, and they were focusing on retail foray. And going forward, we believe, because of the two factors of the weak modern retail destinations, clubbed with the underpenetration that brands are witnessing right now, it is specialty retailers that will play a bigger role in the coming few years because of the focus that they're going to have on the particular category in range building, in product building, as well as in sourcing synergies that they will be leveraging. The foray of international brands into India can be bucketed into three phases. So the first phase was largely initiation, which was dotted by few international brands, and the model was largely around a licensing model. It was in the early 2000s that was marked by experimentation, wherein international brands were experimenting business models made for India, assortments, evaluating partnerships as well as partners. And it's in the last 7 to 8 years, that is basically between 2008 to 2014, that we see a significant number of international brands have forayed into India, and they're focusing on rapid expansion. These international brands, and mostly retailers, because I did mention to you a while back that it's going to be specialty retailers that are going to play a major role, will continue to consolidate and expand, and this is what will drive the growth of the modern retail, brick and mortar, as well as e-tailing that I spoke about a while earlier, compared to traditional retail within lifestyle fashion markets. The Indian fashion, lifestyle fashion landscape is dotted by brand aggregators, led by leading companies such as Aditya Birla, Arvind Brands, Reliance Brands, and Genesis. Within these companies reside expertise of brand building, as they have a bouquet of their homegrown brands as well as international brands. Now, international brands, as they evolve their operating model and their partnership models, they aggregated towards these leading companies because they were able to leverage what we would call the advantages of retail challenges, real estate, leveraging, basically understanding multi-channel retail and the challenges, able to look at low customer acquisition, cost of loyalty, as well as synergies in supply chain. So the demonetization taught us definitely that the value for money rules. So it was the time when your wallets get constrained that you realize that aspirational spends take a hit, and it's basically what you look for is the basics, and you look for security in your spend. So going forward, we believe that consumers are going to evaluate even lifestyle fashion products on a value platform, and they are going to look at it from a lens of what is the fashion that I'm getting at this value, what is the definition, what is the articulation of this product for me. And this is important for brands and retailers because it means that you have to look at your consumer base from the lens of income segmentation. While there is the complete middle class and there is the upper class, and it is a segmentation across income, across age, and across city type. And this is important, that what a brand has to define its positioning and articulate the value that it is going to define, which segment is it going to stand for, and what is it going to define for the particular segment that it chooses to cater to. The urban Indian woman tends to display what you call heterogeneous shopping behavior. She basically, she effortlessly moves from A, international brands to Indian brands, B, from ethnic wear to casual wear. she easily shops from the high street malls as well as the popular fashion streets, flea markets. And what you will find within her wardrobe is a mix of variety of brands and across price points and formats. So it's not that the urban Indian woman, and she tends to display this across categories. She's very heterogeneous in her behavior and she flirts across formats, categories and price points. As your day got sliced into various activities and lifestyles, the lifestyle occasions to dress for got further segmented. And this led to a brand standing for every occasion. And we find this sharper within the men's segment. The reason being that men's fabric brands were largely the harbinger for retail, for organized retail in India. And this is also one of the key reasons that the men's segment comprises the larger share of 42% currently. Increasingly, we're seeing that brands, we are realizing, and it's being demonstrated, that there is a brand that stands for every occasion and every lifestyle activity in a day across office wear, ethnic wear, college, after college, party, gym wear, and yoga. The men's wardrobe is definitely seeing a transition. While you see on the left, 30, 40 years ago, it was a very formal trouser, suit, and a very suit-oriented wardrobe. It's increasingly becoming casual. Having said that, the fashion quotient for the Indian man is relatively lower than what you find in the West. The reason I say this is in the West, you have a color you have a range of colors that define a season. You have a range of fabrics that define a season. You don't see that very much in India. You see a basic vanilla color that pretty much stays through the year, and even on fabrics. However, this is changing. There is an aspiration that is trickling down, and you have to look at this aspiration across, again, 8 segments, economic strata, as well as city type. And the primary reason, and this is what is getting reflected, we believe that casualization is driving this. As consumers, especially the young consumers, are getting exposed to global brands, the urge to engage with casualization and various forms of casualization are being witnessed. And this is definitely in a transition phase and is evolving. Ethnic wear, I'll speak to you a little about fusion wear and ethnic wear. So we believe that the space of ethnic wear and casual wear is getting combined into what you call fusion wear for women. That's because this entire concept of salwar kameez ethnic wear basically stands for comfort, convenience, and yet is contemporary and lends to conformity also. So we believe that the ethnic wear space it's not going to be a pure play ethnic in salwar kameez space, but it's going to be fusion wear where retailers and brands that understand that one has to, and this is true even with casual wear, that women prefer a wide variety of relevant choices, and that's what they call fashion. When they are able to choose amongst various fabrics, silhouettes, cuts, and colors. So a retailer or a brand, be it who plays either in ethnic wear or in casual wear, has to understand this, and we believe that space is going to blend into what you call fusion wear. So fashion influences are heterogeneous in India. While in the West you will find there are three to four colors that will get defined for a season, and the entire region takes up that color. In India, you'll find the difference, forget within cities, but you'll find it within a catchment also. For the same amount of money and for the same category, you will find different choices that a consumer would like to pick for that given money, for that given wallet. And this is basically also influenced by a number of factors across upbringing, family structure, ethnic background, festival and social events that region has seen over time. So we do believe that the millennials shall dramatically impact Indian fashion. There are 400 million in India, and there are 50 plus in the metros of India. And this consumer set, again, is very value conscious because they're independent and they earn their own money. They definitely do evaluate the buck and the smart fashion that they're getting in turn for that money. And that's one of the reasons that we also believe this whole concept of sharing and fashion on rent has come up. Of course, in addition to the digital wave, these are few trends that are coming up. They evaluate value on a very stringent scale. They look for shared. They're happy to be on shared economies, and that's one of the reasons these luxury rent platforms are coming up. They're completely confident and synced in with the fashion trends, and they are a very important consumer segment for fashion retailers and brands. I spoke to you about this a while back, that we believe that women's apparel, while it is different right now compared to the global markets, where India is 38% against what you see in other countries, where the women's segment is always the dominant segment. But it will outpace the men's segment, and over the next 10 years or so, we will look at the women's segment being equitable to the women's segment at approximately 40% share each. Accessories until now was looked at a very entry price template. It was looked at as a category that was just that was viewed as a product extension by brands and retailers. However, going forward, we believe that these can be significant revenue and margin drivers, and the opportunity to slice them across various lifestyles and categories across lifestyle, travel, activewear are tremendous, and that is how gadgets, and that's the reason we believe that they're going to be even special. It is a category that is going to drive momentum, and I did talk to you a little while back about how it is expected to grow. The category of bags, wallets, and watches is expected to grow at approximately 25 to 30% over the next 4 to 5 years. Social responsibility is a trend that we witness. Consumers are becoming increasingly aware, and they look for brands and retailers that give back to society and help those in need. And brands have caught this trend very fast, and we see some of the brands are already consciously using the concept. You see Nike's reuse a shoe concept, Levi's e-commerce, sustainable suits. So environment friendly, give back to the society are concepts that are coming up. So different models are going to drive e-commerce over the coming few years. What we have witnessed is in developed countries, it was a mix of multi-channel play as well as pure play e-commerce that drove e-tailing. Brick and mortar retailers were quick to understand and optimize the opportunity that e-tailing brought to the table and leverage their expertise to do that. In developing countries, we see that it's pretty much the pure play e-tailing companies that are taking the lead with of course, a significant number of large lifestyle brands and retailers also understanding the potential of multi-channel play. They're continuing to foray into it, but it's largely is led by e-tailing companies, and that is going to be the trend going forward. The Indian e-tailing, lifestyle e-tailing landscape can pretty much be segmented on the template that you see. If you look at the curated, they're brands that work on curated concepts for the category, and they are the marketplace players. And then, of course, there's a single category and the multi-category offers. So over time, we have seen that the online fashion market is creating a buzz, and what we see is, I talked to you about this, the entry of large corporates with multi-channel play, and of course there's been consolidation of leading lifestyle retailers and the exit of niche players due to fund crunching. Of course, technology is expected to play a bigger role. There's artificial intelligence. 3D printing represents a new approach to manufacturing, which tightly integrates design, simulation, and digital fabrication to create complex and customized products. And going forward, it is companies that will be able to blend the entire multi-channel play with these technology advancements that will be preferred by consumers. So just summarizing the key trends and the learnings that we talked of in the past 20 to 25 minutes. Specialty retailers will play an increasingly important role as compared to brands and department stores. Apparel market has evolved from being a need-based to a lifestyle-based market, and that's why we basically, we see the growth and evolution of categories that stand more for lifestyle categories. Value for money will continue to rule. Customers today displays heterogeneous behavior, especially the women's segment. The ethnic market is growing smaller and casualization is fueling fusion wear. Having said that, I believe it's a mix of ethnic wear and casual wear that will take the space of fusion wear. And fusion wear, of course, is perceived to be more comfortable and trendy. The 18 to 35 age group are the most important segment of the Indian apparel as well as the accessories market at this time and shall be over the next 3 to 4 years too. In the next 10 years, women's market will be at par with the men's market. Accessories witnesses the highest growth at approximately 30% and can be sliced on various categories across lifestyle, gadgets, travel. And social responsibility is a new trend which appeals to consumers. Online fashion market buzzing with old and new formats coming together and defining new business models. Technology will and shall continue to play a very important role over the next 4 to 5 years. Thank you.
We've got time for just one question, so it goes to the person who raises his or her hand first.
Hi. You mentioned your activewear segment is about 3% of the market. I'm guessing sportswear is within activewear, and it said that's about 3% of the men's market. Do you see that growing exponentially over the next 5 years?
It's a category that is getting sliced on accessories, as well as leading brands are foraying into it as a product extension, because leading sportswear brands in India have not been able to focus on the apparel opportunity as much as the footwear opportunity. So this is a space where there is a potential to grow active wear as a category and to look at various product features as sweat resistant and environment friendly and combine it also with, so the entire, it doesn't stop at active wear. It includes comfort wear, it includes travel wear, and you see brands such as Jockey making a very distinct opportunity of it and foraying into it. And the growth rate is 12 to 14%.
Okay, can we put our hands together for Paki Saxena for that very informative presentation? Thank you so much, ma'am.